Hi everyone, thank you for joining us again today on We Now Hubs Empowered Women Empower Women video series. And today I have a very special guest, and I'm really honored that she agreed to come on my interview series. She's Mrs. Duraya Pardiwala, my mother. And I'm really blessed to have a mother like her. And you'll know more about her as I talk to her and I interview her. Uh, but just as an introduction, I want to tell you that she's a principal of a school and she is known by everyone as ma'am. So I'll be calling her ma'am all throughout the interview. So, hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, it's a
Really
great
happy to
pleasure.
have you.
Yeah, and I am honored actually. I mean, you gave such a beautiful introduction, and I'm really honored and touched to be here. It's nice. It's a new experience for me, but everything is a learning experience in life.
So before we proceed, ma'am, could you please just introduce yourself and maybe tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, as you rightly said, I'm Mrs. Duriya Pardiwala. I'm approaching 67 years of age, as you can see from all this nice white glory on my head. But yes, uh, I've grown up. I've been born and brought up and studied. All my education was in Bombay, which is Mumbai right now.
Yeah.
But now I have settled in a place far off from Lonavala, in a very isolated place in a rural area, and I'm very happy. I'm joyful, at peace, and extremely happy.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Could you please tell us, our viewers, something about your growing up years? Maybe a bit about your
Okay.
siblings or your family. What was it like?
Right. Okay. So I have to go way back. You know
No,
how.
just in short, maybe tell us a bit in short because I'm
Uh,
sure times were very different that time,
Yeah, yeah, very extremely different. And to make a long story short, I know I can never really be very brief in anything. I tend to go on and on, but so please bear with me. I grew up in a family which was pretty orthodox and conservative, and I was the last child. I have five siblings before me, and all of them very intelligent, very smart. And I about my being a principal right now. In short, if I can tell you that in my growing up years when I was very small, uh, since that time that I think the seeds were sown, I was meant and I dreamt of being a teacher in the afternoon when everybody else in the family was having their siesta. I had a room to myself. I had my imaginary children. I didn't have a blackboard, so on the walls I had my chalk and I was teaching my children. I had a stick in my hand and I was very happy. I have a class of my own. So since that time, teaching was in my blood and I just love that and it has continued so far. It's not just a job, it's a dream come true for me. It's my passion, and for me, teaching, education, connecting with children and students of any sort is my life's passion.
Okay. So you must have been a very smart child in school.
There comes the catch. I was not smart at all. I had a, like I told you earlier, all my siblings were supposedly much more smarter than me. They were intelligent, they were clever. They got prizes at the end of the year. They stood first and they were like really the in people in everything. And I was totally out. If you see my report cards, I have saved them because I showed them to my children and my grandchildren. The number of red lines I had. That time it was awful. Everybody thought, "Okay, this, how come she's such a duffer? Will she make anything of her life?" And compared to my siblings, maybe I was a little fair. And they thought, okay, she's got the good looks, but she doesn't have, sorry to say, but she doesn't have anything else. So I grew up, okay, I'm good looking, I'm fine, I don't have to do anything else. And the red lines became a matter of fact. And I'm quite surprised, how I managed to clear my final exams in the school, but I did somehow. I don't know who pushed me, but somebody did push me.
Maybe it
So
was just
yeah,
you and your perseverance to maybe do something about yourself. Uh, so now, after talking about this, could you please tell our viewers about your academic qualifications after being this way in school? I'm
Right.
sure it's going to inspire a lot of women.
Coming back to my school, because my siblings were obviously better educated, but my parents were not. I don't think they ever stepped into my school or in my college. And schooling just got over, I told you, with all this, uh, I don't know, with all the divine uh, pushings that I got. I don't know how, but I cleared my 10th, sorry, the 11th, that was that time, the SSC board. And then I moved on to college. And because I was so immature, very indecisive. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I was the pampered one. I really didn't know what life is all about and what people are all about. So I was sent to a girls' college where supposedly I would be a little safe away from the boys and their roving eyes. And I went to a girls' college. And surprisingly, I didn't finish my graduation.
Oh,
And there comes a knight in shining armor, so to speak. I was only about 17 when because the family felt that it's time that this girl who knows nothing else needs to get married. She needs to be sent to a good home, and a proposal came. And to again cut a long story short, I was not ready for it, because you have to understand, at that point of time when I got engaged also, I was a kid.
how could
You
you?
may grow, physically, but if that upper story of yours is empty, and mine was pretty empty, I don't
Okay.
know how it got filled up, but it was. And yes, before I forget, going back a little bit more, I had not completed my graduation when I got married. For whatever reasons, family issues, I did not complete my graduation. So my last final exams were missed out, and I had to get married, right? And I really would like to. I keep stressing this point that I was a little girl in a woman's body. There was, you may physically grow up. I mean, when somebody would look at you, would say, "Wow, she's a complete woman. She's grown up and everything." But this was really not. I was not mature in the real sense of the word, uh, intellectually, and most importantly, not emotionally. And I got married,
Okay.
and that whole phase of not doing my education, and when I got married, to continue the whole story. My in-laws again were not, they obviously at that point of time, everybody was a little conservative, very traditional. They had traditions and which they had to follow, and customs, and following what society dictated, so that was always there in the background. And I had not completed my graduation, but somewhere that it went on pinching me that I need to complete this. Coming to my graduation, I know
Yeah.
I'm going on talking, Masuma. I'm very sorry that I don't give you time to ask me questions. I have so much to tell you. But
That's
anyway,
okay.
my father-in-law was very supportive, and he was educated in a certain sense according to those standards. And he encouraged me, and he said, if you want to go ahead, go ahead. And with his support, and definitely my husband, who did not say yes, and he did not say no also. So it was quite nice, not meddling, with what I wanted to do in life. And I registered, and I appeared for my graduation exams during my pregnancy. So when I was pregnant, I think about 7 months, 8 months, I had gone to give my final exams for the graduation certificate. And it was so nice, I felt very happy going out with that big tummy, and I am doing a big thing, like, appearing for my exams in this state. And obviously the higher ups there in the institute were very kind towards me. They did not let me sit with the other students. They took me in their office, and I was given a nice, very comfortable chair and pillows, and I was treated royally. To cut the story short again, I appeared for my graduation exams, and I cleared them. And my baby, who was in my womb that time, she
Oh,
grew,
that was
super
your
intelligent.
first baby. Is
My
that
first
your
baby.
first? Okay.
My first baby. And my daughter, who was born then, was definitely more intelligent and more enterprising, all because I was studying when she was inside me.
Okay, that's good. She's lucky then.
Uh,
Okay, then how I know that you have studied quite a bit after that. So
mm,
would you like to tell our viewers that, after this being married and having a child, how did you pursue your education, and what are your educational qualifications actually? So I know that you have studied quite a bit after that. So
Mm.
would you like to tell our viewers that, after this, being married and having a child, how did you pursue your education, and what are your educational qualifications actually?
Right.
So yeah.
My educational qualifications is right now I hold a triple postgraduate degree, that is MA, that is Master of Arts. I have an MA degree, which is Master of Education, and an MS, which is Master in Psychotherapy and Counseling. But like the journey, when I'm telling you that I had a baby, when I had just completed my graduation, so it was a long journey ahead. But I think things just fell into place. I think when you are keen and you want to do something, I think the universe just supports you. After 5 years, when after 4 years when I conceived again from my second baby, I took up this thing of doing my postgraduate degree in arts. And obviously, I did not attend college. I was doing it as an external candidate. So I had to go every day to the university because you cannot buy so many books. And there was a lot of reading involved. So I had to go to the university every day to the library and read up everything. And at that point of time, I again conceived my second baby. So again, when I gave my postgraduate exams, I was pregnant with my second child. And so my second child also was going through all my my ups and downs, my educational ups and downs with me. And as soon as he was born, I got my postgraduate degree. So in some way, I think my children have been very lucky. The children were sending me messages from within, "Okay, Mom, you don't need to sit back. You need to push yourself. Please keep moving." And that's what I did. So after my doing my master's, in arts, again there was a gap. There was a gap of about 5 years, and I joined the Bachelor of Education degree. But for various reasons, personal, family, I couldn't continue. So if I really go back in all the education that I have completed, there have been big gaps. It's not a gap of 6 months or a year and just picking it up again. Obviously married with children, with a family, and that too at that point, it was a joint family. So taking care of everybody's needs and still pursuing what you wanted to do was in itself a big thing for me. And I joined in 1984 after my son was about 5 years old, and I couldn't do it. I had to take a drop. But again, that I would say that Kira, that thing went on, okay, I left it incomplete. How could I have left it incomplete? If I start something, I must bring it to its completion. And after another 5 years, I went back to the same institute. I did my bachelor's of education, and then things started moving. I would say roughly around a little before 2000.
So how old
I
were you
picked up
then when you started pursuing your second bachelor's and your master's and
it was around, I would say, if I'm born in 1953 and I did all this in 1989, 90, how old would I be? Please do the
I,
math.
maybe you are in your 30s? Were
No,
you?
no, yes. I was not 30s, I was approaching my 40s.
All
Okay, so
right.
it was, yeah, about 3, 4 years less than 40. So, I mean, I was not young. And again, I would like to go back that when I did my bachelor's of education or I did my master's, I was the oldest in the class. They were all, because everybody had finished their graduation and they had joined. So they were definitely much, much younger to me. And I was much older than them because I already was a mother of two. I had a family, and they were quite surprised, like somebody so much older. But then I just got that respect, even though I was an older person. But I didn't look at myself that way, and automatically they even didn't look at me that way. And I was sort of, I became a part of their
Part
group,
of,
and
yeah.
it was
So you
wonderful. I was so happy.
adapted to them and they adapted to you and they just accepted.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely. And
very
it was a really joyful experience going through that. And even when I was doing my bachelor's of education or my master's, I would like to put this point across, not because I want to self-glorify myself, but whenever I have taken up something, it is with total dedication and commitment. There was not a single day that I have missed in my college or in my university. Every single day I would be present, and present for every activity that took place in the college. So I have got certificates for 100% attendance and participation in all kinds of things. Whether I was good at it or not good at it, take it up as a challenge. And I went on doing everything. I've done n number of courses to tap all my, if I had
Yeah,
any challenge.
potential, all
Yeah,
hidden potential, or to just
right.
experience
Yeah.
life. Yeah, and know,
Experience life,
learn new
all
things.
kinds
I
of
think that's what
things.
you are saying. But then, if you are saying, I want to know that you saying that you've attended college and you've done all this. How did you manage your home? What about your children? And uh,
Yeah,
it
I
mustn't have
think
been easy.
by that time my children were also a little bit grown up. And I think the bottom line is where there is a will, there's a way, or the solutions automatically come about. If you know how to manage yourself, manage your time, work around everything, and do whatever you have to do, and still do what you want to do outside, I think it's not impossible. But yes, definitely it cannot happen without the support of the family. And I'm sure, I haven't asked my children what they went through at that point of time, but they must have gone through a harrowing time. Because for me, if I have to pursue this course and do it, I have to do it. I can put the other things on a side burner. And it may have, they might have gone through, but I maybe will ask them now. That was it really bad when I was out of the house?
Okay. And you have a yoga.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
could you please tell
Yoga.
us more? So despite your triple masters, being a master in counseling and a master in education, a master in bachelor of, sorry, master of arts, you also are a certified yoga.
Yeah, I am a professional counselor, as you rightly said. And before doing the professional course, Masuma, I would like to tell you that it was not that I sat back. There were n number of courses that I went on doing. Wherever the paper, newspaper, I would keep looking, or somebody told me, or I saw. We didn't have mobiles that time, but anywhere I got any information, I was ready to jump. In any short-term course. That's the way. The kind of the learning curve expanded through that. I mean, I just wanted to go and try out everything. So I did many yoga courses. I did many short-term counseling courses before I jumped into, because then I realized that, something, counseling is something very close to my heart. And I don't look at it as a money-making proposition, because, uh, no, for me to reach out to someone and to help someone in need, especially now in this day or time when we talk of mental health issues. So to reach out to someone and to then, give uh, an honest listening and to help someone in need, I think that's what spurred me on to do my master's in counseling. And yoga also, because somewhere I felt, I wanted to do something for my physical health also. So I did many short-term courses. And then finally I came to know about this particular institute, which was holding a teacher's training course in yoga. And I joined that. I did a whole year in the teacher's training course, which certifies you to be a yoga teacher, you know, to teach others. And after that, I did the yogic therapy course, which is more for yoga being used as a therapy when anybody goes through any kind of, physical or mental, emotional, any issues, where you can be a therapist and help them achieve a wonderful outcome from it.
So yeah, so basically, I think what women listening to this, or anybody listening to this, that age should never be a barrier, to learning or to pursuing anything. You should just continue, and it doesn't matter whether it's you're getting a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. Anything you learn new is an experience, and it will just help you as you go along. It might be of use in some later time. You never know when it comes of use, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Learning should never stop. That's one thing, learning. I mean, every small bit, every person whom you meet in life is your teacher. something that they're imparting. I mean, you need to keep your mind open to imbibe whatever from somebody else. And why? I mean, how we think of the ocean as so vast. There's so much more knowledge outside, and how much do we know?
as you know,
The
your
only thing I would like to say is just follow your dreams. Just be yourself. Be your authentic, true self. Don't let anybody, no matter who tells you what, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve whatever you want. Let nothing stop you, you know. Continue learning throughout your life. And whatever you do only what you really love. What is your passion? Your heart is there. I mean, listen less to your mind and listen to your heart, and it will always guide you in the right direction. Just be happy. I mean, Masuma, the way you keep smiling, I think everybody should just keep smiling, being positive and being happy. And
I'm sure anybody who's viewing you or talking to you, I'm sure the smile would automatically come. And I think you're even thinking about pursuing and doing a PhD sometime soon.
yes, yeah. I want all of you, Masuma, you and the viewers, that, you know, please let me just get some inspiration to go ahead, and I just want to do it. That was one dream that I always had, to do my PhD. I am already a PhD in my mind. I just need that paper. So
Okay, if you can see it, it is going to happen. You know, that's the law of attraction. So and I really wish you good luck, and I'm really grateful and honored that you have come to this show and to this interview, and I'm truly honored. Thank
thank
you
you
so
for
much.
inviting me. Thank you for inviting me. I hope all of you did not get bored to listen to my spin-offs. But thank you so much
Yeah,
for listening to me if you have heard me. And thank you, Masuma, for inviting me. It was my pleasure. It was
yeah,
entirely my pleasure to have spoken to you.
thank you so much. And for viewers who are watching right now, thank you so much for staying with us till this far. I mean, we've taken a lot of your time, but you know, Madam has so much to share and she has so much to. Uh, she's just full of so much experience that I don't think this much amount of time is enough. But we've covered most of what we could. And if you or anybody else you know has some inspirational story or a life like this who would like to come to We Now Hub's interview, please get in touch with We Now Hub on WeNowHub.com or Facebook We Now Hub. And please do subscribe to my channel, uh, We Now Hub on YouTube. And so I can keep bringing more inspirational women like this for the interviews. Uh, and before we go, madam, and what she's been doing in her life, you know, always learning or attending workshops and courses, that's what she's done with me and my brother. So I think I have, since I was the oldest, I think I have attended the most workshops and all that. So yeah, I have always, I have learned a lot from her, and this passion of learning has come from her. So I am always keen to learn something new. So thank you very much for that. And for instilling this, that you know, you're never too old, you know, you can always learn at any age. So viewers, thank
Since
you so much for joining us, my mom, my mother, madam, and me, Masuma. And I hope to see you all soon again in my next interview series. So bye for
thank
now.
you.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you. Thank you for being my daughter.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.